I cannot tell time. Oh man, I thought I had another hour, and then I realized I missed the clock. Anyways, oh, what are we going to talk about tonight? What are we going to talk about tonight? We can talk about my fall. Look at that. Got a nice little bruise. I don't typically bruise. um, let's see. Let's see who's on here. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? I don't know. Another week gone. Trying to think about where the week went. I don't even know. Been busy. Things just seem to stay busy. So earlier this week, a couple nights ago, I my wife was asleep in bed, and I was going to put out. I was trying to put out some mouse traps because we've got mice. We live in the country. You got mice, right? Anyways, I was going to put one up high where I'd been hearing uh, a mouse, and I stood on like an ammo box. It's plastic. I tell my kids all the time, don't stand on like go get a ladder. Don't stand on a something that you shouldn't be standing on. And then what did I do? I'm standing on an ammo can and I'm reaching up. I got a light and I'm reaching up to put this on the wall. And the next thing I know, like I'm looking at the wall and the light and things go flying, and I came down right on that ammo can, right on my like sideways. It happened so fast. Anyways, I landed on my arm and yeah, kaboom. So needless to say, she woke up and some kids run in and they were like, well, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I think so. I don't know. It's dark. I was using my phone for a light. It went flying. Um, the trap went flying, and yeah. So there we go. I don't typically bruise, but I honestly, when it happened, I was questioning whether or not it had a. I thought maybe it cut me just from. It hurt. Anyways, thankfully, no cut, no broken arm. And I really wasn't even, I figured I was going to be like super sore the next day, but it wasn't too bad. So it could have been a lot worse. So, anyways, lesson from that is get a ladder and don't reach out on ladders. That's another way to fall off a ladder. But it was amazing how quickly, um, and the ammo can is probably a foot tall or so, but I don't know. It's so crazy how I was standing upright, but kind of went completely sideways and landed on that ammo can. But yeah, so that was one of my exciting week things that happened to me. Well, let's see what's up. I've been taking care of um, getting orders out, getting knives sharpened for inventory, and dealing with some other manufacturing stuff, and dealing with some tax stuff, and didn't get a whole lot done other than that kind of stuff. So, what else? Let's see. That's how my week's went. I don't know what else to talk about. I did record an expert counsel segment last week. I don't know if it is gone live on my channel yet or not, but it will be coming out soon. And if you guys have any questions, so I do a segment for the Survival Podcast, It's called the Expert Counsel segment. And I answer questions about knives, about sharpening, about, things like that. This last question was about sharpening chainsaws. So if you have any questions for that you would like answered, you can leave them in the comments below or email me, patrick@mtknives.net, and I will put together an answer for you. Not out yet. Okay. Need to see when that airs and see when we can release that video. So, anyhow, where is my knife? Probably don't need sharpened. I mean, it always needs sharpened. Let's see. It's funny how many people, when you ask them if their knife is sharp or if it needs sharpened, how many people are like, oh, my knife's sharp. Because it probably isn't sharp. This knife is sharp, but if you notice, right there, just about the last 1/4 inch of my blade is not sharp. Blades that are high carbon that rust easy. How would you slow the process? The short answer is put a patina on it, keep it oiled, and use it. But I could use that as a question and maybe go a little more into depth. I was going to go live on my computer, and then I remembered, I'm going to move this phone here. Then I remembered, oh, what's going on? I got to log into Chrome because you can't do it on Safari, yada, yada. And since I was pressed for time, already late, I just logged in on my phone. Going to just start with the fine side and just hit the tip of this knife. Man, it has been warm. I ran 10 miles Sunday and 4 miles yesterday. And so, as you can see, this is how I check for my burr. This feels smooth. It's not grabbing. I'm not using much pressure at all. But yeah, it has been so hot. I was going to try to get out early Sunday and start my run because it is so hot. But I didn't sleep well the night before. And so I got up late. I tried to sleep in, try to get some sleep. And then by the time I ran, it was blazing hot. So what would I look at for a bushcraft knife? So originally, bushcrafting is kind of what got me into knife making. And it's kind of, there's so many different knives out there. Yeah. I'm trying to think of. I don't want to say anything negative about. I have some definite opinions on the subject, but trying to think. I'm so bad with names. It's I always get confused. There was battle horse knives, blind horse knives, battle horse knives, LT Wright. I think it's I think it's LT Wright knives. I would look at um, I would probably look at something they have. I like I think the price point is good. Um, I think they have a good product. I stop by their booth every year at Blade Show and uh, just look at what they got, talk to them a little bit. That's probably who I would get something from. But, you know, I guess so. I go to, um, there's a survival type school in Kansas, in Randolph, Kansas. I'm trying to think of the name. Um, I've got a burr now. Why can't I think of the name? It'll come to me. Anyways, I've taken my boys there many times. I've gone and like taught sharpening and stuff there. Um, man, I can't think of the name of the school. Randolph, Kansas. Dave is the guy that owns the property there and instructs. Blackthorn. There we go. Thanks, babe. So Blackthorn in Randolph, Kansas. Um, they've got some really affordable training. Good stuff. They have nice property there. My boys and I have gone several years there and helped on different projects. They have a knife only class that's like, I think it's like a week, 2 weeks, or maybe one that's like a month long. Actually, a friend of mine is going to do that. And so I say all that to say, like, I have a hard time like recommending something that I don't personally do or carry. Um, originally, when I started making knives, I was making, Japanese steel, laminated steel, and I wanted to be able to strike a ferro rod or whatever. So, like, I guess, what I'm trying to say is like, high carbon's fine, and it's got a place. I don't know that I personally would carry a high carbon knife all the time. I have one. I've got a knife from Donovan Phillips. It's a high carbon knife. He is one of the Blade Sport winners, and knife maker as well. Much better, but so anyways, I used to always carry a Leatherman on my side, and I used to always carry some sort of fire steel or a ferro rod. I've got fire pistons and ferro rods. I've got so anyways, a lot of that stuff is only as good. It's only good if you carry it like every day. Um, And I like the whole preparedness, carrying stuff. I could do better about actually like keeping that stuff in vehicles, keeping it on you. Um, so I say all that to say, like, I really haven't carried a belt knife. Um, I have a belt knife that I would carry when I'd go hunting. And if I was gonna, obviously, if I was gonna do like a knife only course or something, I'd probably carry a belt knife. But I like neck knives, the accessibility of it. Anymore, like when I used to work all the time, I was wearing jeans and a belt. Anymore, half the time I'm not even wearing jeans. Um, so I would probably, I've thought about it. Um, I I would like to have a ferro rod on if I wanted to be more prepared. I'd like to have a ferro rod attached to my neck knife. At different times, I've kept stuff attached to my sheath. Um, they even have, I have some of them. There's a little like 1 inch ferro rod that goes on paracord that you could put on your neck knife like that. And they have little like ceramic strikers too that are nice. Um, so I don't currently like carry any kind of fire starter with me, but that'd probably be my suggestion. I think is it LT Wright knives? I feel like that's not right. I feel like it's called something else. I wish I knew what it was, but I don't. Um, whoever, I don't even know. So I think the deal was there was, I think it was Blind Horse Knives split, and half became Battle Horse Knives, and I think it's LT Wright. Maybe it's LT Wright. And anyways, LT Wright is probably who I'd go with. Um, I hope to do some sort of like bushcrafting type stuff here eventually. Um, my son, my sons are both pretty good at, uh, starting a fire and building shelter and all that kind of stuff. My one son is really good at fire starting, building shelter, and all that kind of stuff. But I have some just friends who are very good at fire starting, um, foraging. They've been through a lot of those courses and do all that kind of stuff. I have not spent as much time doing that kind of stuff. Back in the day, man, 17, 18 years ago, maybe longer, 20 years ago. I used to watch David Wendell from Bushcraft on Fire. He has some good videos out there. Um, I was watching Dave Canterbury when he was living in a trailer and before he was ever on Dual Survivor. And then, oh, I'm just trying to think of like some of the different survival type instructors, but that's what I'd say. What are you looking for in a bushcraft knife? What would you do? So, and part of my thing with like the standard bushcraft knife that people are going to sell you is, and I get it, right? Like if you had to have one knife and you're going to be like batoning wood and chopping down things with it or whatever, like you want a larger knife, medium to larger size knife. I would prefer what I have. I would probably prefer a silky saw and a neck knife over a bushcraft like belt knife. There are times where like having a bushcraft knife would be handy, um, but a big knife doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't chop well like an axe. like, what would you want a bigger knife for? Chopping or dropping, larger wood. I would prefer to have like a nice silky saw or something like that, or even a breakdown saw. I've got a I've got a breakdown saw that takes a real nice thin kerf saw. And then I tell people not to baton with like the Genesis, but I have batoned with the Genesis. You can break your Genesis doing that, but obviously, like smaller stuff, the blade's not real long to be batoning large stuff. So, yeah, that's what I got to say about that. My son actually started a hand drill fire with stuff that he got from the woods. Like a hand drill fire, a hand drill fire is difficult with a good set, and it's really difficult trying to source material and then do a hand drill fire without like a set that you've already had prepared. Most people will have like a set that they've collected and let dry, and probably have started several fires with, and that still takes a lot of skill. If you want to get good at doing like a hand drill fire, then you want to kind of build up your tolerance, because you're going to get calluses and stuff. So it's good just to kind of practice for a few minutes every day, and over the course of weeks or maybe months, build your hands up so you can have more strength and get better at starting a hand drill fire. So anyways, I've done a hand drill fire a few times. My buddy Travis sent me a bunch of different spindles and boards to practice with. That stuff like some was yucca, horseweed, and different types of fireboards. And it's different. It's kind of interesting trying out different fireboards, trying out different spindles, long spindles, kind of shorter spindles, and just it's a fun skill to practice. But it's a skill like sharpening or any other that if you don't practice it, you're not going to be good at it. So, got any molding? Yeah. So yeah, I really like the I really like the idea of getting out there and with minimal tools and just being able to survive. It's a lot of type 2 fun, but the I've never really gone out for an extended period. I would like to. I say I'd like to. It would always be fun just to see how well you do. And, it's so, like, I think about a buddy of mine on his, I feel like they stayed out for 30 days, but that seems like it's a long time. But one of the things he did, it's in the knife only class, is he raked up a bunch of leaves and like slept in a pile of leaves. And I'll tell you what, like this year, the ticks are so bad. Ticks love leaf litter, and I just wonder like how many how many ticks he got. That could be like a good decision, or it could turn out to be a really, really bad decision. Um, it's there's a lot of things that people see and they think is going to work out good, and you get out there and you actually practice these skills and you find out, oh, that doesn't really work as good as I thought it would. So, yeah, hand drill type 3 fun. Yeah. How to do that? How to start a hand drill fire sometime. I haven't done that in a while. I had a fireboard that I dated and kept track of like when I started fires with it. I think my children have acquired that set, and I don't know if I can find it all or if there's anything left of it. Some of my spindles were getting kind of raggedy, so need to harvest some new ones. Anyways, yeah, hopefully that helps. Bushcraft knife, you know, like that's I think about a fillet knife is really nice to have if you're going to be like filleting some fish. The hard thing with any type of knife is depending on what you're doing with it really depends on what knife I want to carry. And when you try to carry something that's going to be good for a multiple of things, it's not really good for a lot of things. So I couldn't imagine, I mean, I guess the big thing, if you're going to do like cleaning fish, you're probably just going to cook it and pick it off the bones instead of trying to fillet it in that type of situation. But anyhow, any other questions? I'm gonna be, I think I said last week, I think I'm gonna be at the Homesteader, what is it, the Ozark Homesteading Festival. I think that's like August the 4th. It's a Friday. I'll be sharpening knives. So, yeah, with knives, that's why the whole 2 is 1, 1 is none. I like to have my neck knife. I like to have my, if I was going to be out in the woods, I'd like to have my Leatherman. And then it's got, you know, a couple knives on it. Because there's definitely times where you want a screaming sharp knife. So you keep one knife for your fine task and keep, you know, have another knife that you use for like abuse and stuff. September, okay. But I even like to have 3 knives. Redundancy is good. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it. I got to finish working on some paperwork and stuff. And we will see you guys next week. I think the new air conditioner is working great. Right now my windows are all frost or condensating on the outside because the humidity is just through the roof here. So it's nice. 1 unit. I only got 1 unit installed, but it's keeping this place nice and cool. I had to shut it off because it was getting too cool. But air conditioning is nice. Stay cool. We'll see you next week. This is Patrick with MT Knives. Stay sharp. Thanks for joining in.